Good morning everyone and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and today is the Tutorial Tuesday. Well, I can tell you what I wanted to make, I couldn't make because my printer got all jammed up and I spent about 3 hours on jamming it. And basically what I wanted to use was the Aliexpress sheets of washi tape. Now, it could be a fault with my printer or it may be not, but it just all got jammed up in my printer and I had to figure out how to get it out, unscrew the door, remove my ink cartridges, and it was not a very exciting time. So anyway, I am going to try and put that washi tape through again. I've got a feeling it might be because I bent one of the corners, or it could be that it was an A4 size and I didn't adjust my settings and it went through a bit lopsided. So anyway, after doing that, I managed to cut some cardstock. So I'm just going to go straight in and say what I'm going to do today, and I'm going to do a heart shape mini album cover. Now I'm using these dies from Surprise Creation, the decal edge ones, and I'm using this size, which is the second size down. These are quite large and I will link the haul below where these hearts came from. You can also get the plain hearts, and I think I'm going to use the plain hearts for the pages inside, but because of the application that I'm doing to the cover, I'm going to make it today, but it's not going to be dry for 24 hours, which means if you come back tomorrow, I'm going to show you the finished product, but today I'm just going to show you how I'm doing the cover. Right, so that's the Surprise Creation dies. I've got all sorts of bling out because I'm going for silver and vintage. So I've got my bling stones, I've got my Moxie really soft glitter, that's from Tuesday Morning. I've got my Aliexpress silver twine, which is in my Dollar Tree ornament, and I just keep it poked out the top nice and tidy. I've got my silver glitterific, yeah, you can see there's a theme going on here, but I also got my Deco Art twinkles just in case. And what else have I got on here? Oh yeah, I've got some Wow Spark glitter that came from Tuesday Morning, and you get all sorts of different blends, like you've got chunky, you've got tinsel, and you've got the regular fine ground glitter. So I'm sure I'm going to find somewhere to use that. And what else have I got? Ah yes, a Dollar Tree glue stick, because I'm using Dollar Tree foam board, and when I'm sticking cardstock down onto Dollar Tree foam board, I always use a glue stick because it stays stuck down nice and smooth and there's no bubbling or anything that goes on underneath it. I've also got some of my Aliexpress glitter ribbon in silver in case I need it, and I've also got some Dollar Tree stick-on pearls. Now I'm just going to clear this stuff away so I can make some space for my project. Oh, and before I forget, I'm also going to be using a crocodile, which is one of these things. Had it for years, and when you press the handle up, it will poke the hole where you want it in your project. Sorry for that view of my camera. And the brad or eyelet that I'm using is an icy blue one. I would have used silver, but I haven't got one, so I need to order some. So there's my icy blue eyelet. Right, I'm going to pause while I clear my silver away and put my projects down. Okay, so I also forgot to say that I'm going to be using Mod Podge Supergloss Brilliant and a couple of Dollar Tree cheap brushes. Now, when using this stuff, I highly recommend using a Dollar Tree shot glass to pour some into, because this will start to form a skin quite quickly. Now, it does take a complete 24 hours to fully dry and sometimes 3 or 4 days to cure completely, but rather than sort of like leave the cap off while you're playing, it's always better to pour a little bit out into a shot cup. And I think you get 10 or 20 of these for $1 from Dollar Tree. So I wanted to show you that. Now I've chosen an image that I've had for quite a while. I think this one was from Pinterest. Make sure that the images that you're using, especially in public as I am, are freebie printables, because you don't want to get done for anything nasty. And here is my Dollar Tree foam board, which is cut in exactly the same size. And you know, I do love my Dollar Tree foam board. It's nice on the back, so it's going to look great in my little mini album, and it's nice and smooth on the front. And I also use that die set to cut out 2 little ones. Now you could, if you wanted to, if I can get a close-up there, see which direction my camera's going in today, you could make yourself some earrings, but I'm going to use them as little charm dangles that are going to hang off the left side of my little mini album. So I'll just pop those to the side for a minute and we will stick this on. Now, as I said, I do use Dollar Tree glue stick. Love it. So I go in on here and I just put it all over. Now I can tell you that here in good old Florida it will dry very, very quickly on you. So if you put it on quite thickly like I'm doing here, you get a little bit of open time where you can move your image about if you need to. Now, you know me and my camera, this whole setup is in front of my face, and so if I slide that, I think I've got it on correctly, and I'll just pick it up and move it just in case. But there you have it, all down, no bubbles, no ripples, no wrinkles. It's just lovely. Now I will leave that 5 minutes to dry. I'm just touching around the edges with my fingers to make sure that it's in on that embossed edge. But I'm quite happy with that, and I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay, so that is now nice and dry, and I punched a hole with my crocodile. Here is my rivet, and normally you would set your rivets. Isn't that what a frog does? Normally you would set your rivets using your crocodile if you're using thin cardstock, but you can see we're using Dollar Tree foam board, and when you're using Dollar Tree foam board, your rivet will take up the depth of your cardstock. Can you see that? So there's no need to do that. And what will happen is when I start coating with my super gloss, it's going to make that adhere in the hole, so I don't have to worry about setting it. Okay, so I've popped that out because now I'm going to pour out a little bit of super gloss in my cup, and I'm trying to make sure I don't make a mess everywhere because I'm using a smallish craft mat and I want to catch my drips. I don't want to be wasteful with it, so I'm kind of gauging roughly how much here I think I'm going to be using, and I think that's it. So there I have some in my shot cup, which is about 2 tablespoons I'd say, and I'm capping my Mod Podge straight away. I know some people call it different names, don't they, like Mod Podge, and we all can sort of like get mixed up with how it's pronounced. Right, so let's go in and coat this. I'm just going to go in with a very thin coat to begin with. Just want to seal it because, as I said, I did print this off on my printer, and you will find when you pop your first coat down that you can see brush strokes. Now when you get to putting on all your bits in your second coat, that will quickly vanish. So I'm just downstroking now to make sure that I've covered my entire project, and I'm grabbing a little bit there to place around the hole. I'm just going to dot it and squiggle my brush around, and then I'm going to take my rivet and I'm just going to pop it into there, hopefully without dropping it, and push down. And that little bit of super gloss there is going to set and hold that in position. Right, so I need to let this really thin coat dry and I'll be right back. So my piece is now touch dry, and I've sorted some bits of bling from my bling pot here from Tuesday morning, and I've decided I'm going with these. And when I'm putting glitter down, I like to work with my largest pieces first, and so I've got these chunky bits and I've got my tinsel and I've also got this, but I think I'm going to go for some abalone as well. Just hang on a second. And I've got some of this stuff, and this is something I've had for years because it's exactly the same as the fake Dollar Tree snow. So, you know, don't spend $5, spend $1 and you get a huge pot. And if I can find that, just hang on a second. There you go. See, it's exactly the same. This is my Dollar Tree fake snow. This is stuff I paid $5 for many years ago. So it doesn't really matter which one you use, but I'm going to use this up because I quite like the pot and maybe I'm going to use it at some point. Right, so with what's in here, I'm going to whip it up slightly, and then I'm just going to be very generous and pour it out all over the top. Don't be horrified by the amount on here, and then I'm just gently going to push it out. And the reason I'm using so much now is I do not want any brush marks or fingerprints in this, and it will pull together. It's quite self-leveling. So that's what I'm going for right now, and I'm just pulling it out really gently, and you'll see it start to pull together. If you need to tip it towards you and get a bit of a run there, you can, but this stuff does cure rock solid. It's kind of, I guess, an easy way to resin. So I'm going to carry on pouring that on and brushing it out, and I'll be straight back. Right, so I've done that, and you can see it's kind of, it looks milky when it's thick, but it does dry crystal clear, and you can see that high gloss on the surface there. Now while it's tacky like that, that's when you need to start popping all of your lovely inclusions on there. And as I say, I start with my biggest first, and so I'm going for that bling stone, and I'm not going to mess around. I'm just going to pop it straight there. That's where I want that. And I kind of know that I don't really want anything on her little face, so I'm just going to drop these down. And you know, I always work in odd numbers, so there are 5 of these, and I'm just going to place those right there. I might squidgy that one over a bit, and they're just going to sink down into there and set. Right, now where is my abalone? Now I'm going to have some abalone, and I want to concentrate just on the wing section. So when you're pinching it out of your bottle, be aware of where you're waving your hand around so that you haven't got bits landing where you don't want them to land. So I just want the abalone here in the wings, and I just want a little bit. Now if I can grab that carefully by the tips and tip that up, you can see where the abalone has gone on that one. I do apologize for any dimness on my camera. And now I'm going to go for some of this, which is much larger stuff. And as I said, you know, I'm concentrating in the wing area. Now, can you see that? A little piece just fell on her face. Now, That's basically what I'm telling you not to do. So I am going to see if I can pick that out. Right, pop this little bit of glitter back into my pot. I'm going to get my brush and find out if that's already started to set up. Right, I think I got it. But now my problem is trying to get rid of that ripple there. So I'll just gently pounce it and that should level out. Now next up I want to go with a little bit of my tinsel glitter, always staying with the size there, and I want to bring my hand around this way and pop that down and into there, and I want this area here and a little bit here, moving my hand away carefully again and popping a little bit more here. I guess you could say that I'm concentrating in the paler section of the print, which is actually the wings. Might pop my tinsel back into the bottle, and now it's time for my finer silver glitter, and I may put a little bit in her hair and I may not. So I've got the real fine one here, and as I said, you know, moving your hand around so that you're not getting it in places where you don't want it. A little bit there. Anything that doesn't adhere in the project will actually tap off once it's dry. So here we go again, nice fine silver glitter. And I'm trying to look over at the camera and I'm wondering if I want any in her hair. And let's go for it. Let's just really finely put that silver in there, just the delicate little sprinkle. There. Okay, I'm happy with that. I just didn't want it to sort of like blow all over the place and obliterate her face. Right, so now I've got my Moxie, which is the really fine grained stuff. And I absolutely love this. Love it for Christmas. Love it for all sorts of occasions. And with this, I know that I can absolutely do her hair, and it doesn't matter if some even goes onto her face. I guess you could call this like sugar, because it doesn't really, if you look at it, it doesn't reflect any colours. It's just a real icy kind of finish. And into her hair again. Doesn't really matter if this goes on the face, as I said. Putting a little bit on her hand there. And a little bit down there. And really, I suppose you can't see what I've done until I pick it up. Right, now this is where the problem lies, you see, because I haven't learned how to do all video editing and stuff yet. So I don't know how to do time lapse or fast forward, or how to completely stop my video and then come back to it. I know I can pause and walk away if I want to, but I couldn't really do anything else if I just paused it and walked away for 24 hours. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to pick it up and show you. So there she is in her little ice storm, and I'm going to come back tomorrow with the finished item, which I'll be able to handle. But that's how quickly and easily you can make a really pretty little mini album cover. And this one would be great for Christmas if you popped a little snowflake or something on there and gave it to a little girl. I'm sure she'd be delighted. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with a finished project and with a DIY art bin share, because of course everybody wants to see that manic cat. So that's what I'll be coming back with. You have a fabulous day as usual. All links below. Bye.